Okay, welcome back to another episode of Malay Magic. Now, the first one is just for laughs because I think I shared one of their posts before, and then I thought they actually found something mystical in the forest. But then now I saw another post from them. So this Kibudi Kamandanu. So what they do is like they go to different places and then they will show like, oh, they found this kind of like a treasure from the past. So it's always from like 16th century, 17th century, like the kingdom of Aceh, the kingdom of whatever. So you can see in this video, they kind of they found something in the rocks there. See the man in front with this guy with a vest. There's some smoke coming out, right? So it's like they will throw some oil or some water, and then this smoke will come out. Then they'll find something, some kind of colored rocks. This is another pose of theirs. I think it was like a tree stump, and then they start doing these moves near the tree, the kind of like martial arts moves, and then they supposedly show like some smoke or some. I think this one is some fire. Some fire came out of it. So you see, they're doing their moves. And then I thought the comments were funny because I said, why is the tree being hit for no reason? I also used to be like this when I was young. Then I said yes when I was like 9 years old. And then the funny one, this guy said the one of the actors at the back, so this guy here, he needs to practice more because his acting is not so good. This one is like at the tree stump. They you can see, yeah, there's a flame and then some smoke comes out. And then he said, this is like a treasures, like very lucky treasures found at this lake. So this, the other one at the waterfall, I think. Yeah, in the middle of the jungle, they found another treasure. So, and then he always looks like he's trying to pull out something. And it takes a lot of effort, but then sometimes they don't show the thing that is coming out. Okay, next one from who's this? Edin.24. The most sadistic supplication. Don't read this to the person you hate the most. And the comment says, whatever it is, just let God deal with them. What they do is you read this to the person that you hate, and then this person will get some kind of misfortune. So you read it 3 times while imagining their face. Generally, the people are not, they don't really agree with this. On one hand, it's like very pessimistic, and then on the other hand, it's like yeah, it's very sadistic. Like, you wish harm on other people. So generally, the people in the comments don't really like this. So this one from Eddie Kayu Sof, the specialty, the uniqueness of taking a khadam. Khadam means like a servant. So in this case, it's like a kind of spirit that does your bidding. So he's telling the story of a woman that he met, that who took this kind of khadam spirit into herself. And then she said she felt like after, because she was being disturbed by other people's black magic, so she took this servant to as protection. And she said that after she took this khadam, she had a lot of pains in her neck. And at first she took the spirit because the spirit showed itself as like a Muslim jinn. Like this entity was wearing like a long prayer scarf and then was asked her to pray. So this woman believed like, it was a good kind of entity. But then this Eddie Kayusov is saying that what happened after that is this uh entity just pretends to be Muslim, so in order to trick the human into taking it on. And this woman got this servant entity from some healer in Indonesia. Next one from Pak Man. I think we have a lot from Pak Man. I don't know why this week. Pak Man has a cure for if your child is slow to speak or stutters. So you are supposed to read this supplication. And this is the supplication of Prophet Moses or Nabi Musa alayhi salam from Surah An-Nisa. But in this case, he's using this as a like a spell because you recite Al-Fatiha, Salawat, and then that ayat, that verse, and then you blow into your child's mouth. Okay, another one from Pakman. This is how to fix a penghalang. Penghalang is like a protection, like a kind of a gate to protect from the evil eye of others. So based on this Quranic verse from Surah Yasin, but again, they use the Quranic verse as a spell. So, he will say okay, that you read it like a certain number of times, and then you have the intention to like protect your things, protect yourself, protect your family. Um, yeah, so even though in this case it's not a material object, but using the verse, reciting it a certain number of times and with a certain intention. Although one could argue, I guess, it's like manifesting your thoughts become your actions. Who knows? Okay, another one from Pakman. So Polaris is a when you say Polaris, usually, people think of like a hantu, like a entity. I'll link to a video that I made before about Polaris, which is a kind of entity that some business people keep in order to make customers come back. They will put their saliva into the food, and then when customers eat the food, they are hooked, so they will come back. So every time there's like a any kind of business that does well, people always say like, oh, there's a Polaris. This business owner is keeping some kind of entity that is making customers come back. But in this case, Pakman is giving, so it's also a verse. To read it a certain way, alright? So this verse, you have to, I think it's you see the like the second sentence. You have to read it, and then the last word you say it three times, and then you also make the intention to like you recite it. I think it's like before you open your shop or during your business hours or when you are closing up your shop and cleaning up, and then that will make you have lots of more customers and brisk business. Okay, next one from Ramzan Jewelers. So I at first the title says right, ada saka dalam emas. Like, is there some kind of curse or spell in this golden bracelet? So this jewelry shop bought this bracelet which contains like heart-shaped lockets from a customer, but then when they open it up, you see like, oh, there are like these threads. So people were asking in the comments like, oh, is this like a bulo perindu, which is a kind of uh feather or piece of bamboo which I use in the love spells, which I think I covered before in previous videos in this playlist. There's different kinds of spells that they'll put into a small bottle. They put a bulu perindu, they put some oil, and then they charm it with some mantras, and then it's a love potion. So people asking like, oh, is this also a kind of a charm? But then, Insanity Freddy said like, oh, it's just heavy pieces of metal added into the locket to make it seem like it's heavy, but actually, it's not. So it's just the person who bought this bracelet was cheated out of they thought they were buying gold, a heavy gold bracelet, but it's not. Okay, Pakman again. The title says don't bring back entities that have not been invited. So his solution for this is a material object. This he has this kind of oil that is called saraf. Saraf, is it nerve? Like oil, a kind of oil for your nerves, and then it contains seven kinds of herbs. So it's funny because usually like you see in previous posts, he's just promoting Quranic verses, right? And reciting them in a certain way. But in this case, he seems to be promoting an actual product. Like you said, just you can bring it anywhere, and um, so you say like again you have to say Bismillah, and then he put the oil. I think this one he says you can put oil at the back of your neck or something. When you go to places that are like keras, like there's spirits around. Then he said like, okay, if you use this oil, the spirits will not follow you home. Okay, next one is from this. What is it? I think this is Eri Abdul Rahim. Okay, so the title says, "Be wary of magic that or black magic that has been placed in the womb." So he says the symptoms of such kind of black magic is when you have unexplained pain during your periods, heavy bleeding, everything to do with like menstrual disturbances. So he says, it can be also black magic put on your womb. And then here's a comment from Yusisri Octaviani. I'm in pain. I was operated because I had an ectopic pregnancy. So that is when the egg is fertilized outside of the uterus. So that's very dangerous, and you need to go have a procedure to have it removed surgically. And obviously, the pregnancy cannot carry on if it's ectopic. Then she says, but I don't know whether that was a biological illness or something black magic from someone. My left side of my body hurts a lot. If I zikir, then it hurts even more. I feel like I want to give up, but I think of my children. And then here, Maudi's Art 2 says, I'm often in pain during my period, um, and the blood does not seem to come out smoothly. The second day of my period is there's so much blood, and I have very, very bad cramps. And then I hate all men that come near me. Okay. But anyway, both these women are describing something that to me seems like there's a clear biological cause. So I guess the problem is that if, women think that their menstrual cramps or disturbances or heavy bleeding is a cause of black magic, then they are not searching for the proper treatment, or they're not able to get proper treatment, rather than just going for the spiritual healing, they can actually have a medical answer to their problems.